Before we trace the millions, the ledgers, and the offshore accounts, we must establish a fundamental truth. The wealth of Jeffrey Epstein was not built on innovation, trade, or intellect. It was built on a foundation of human suffering, exploitation, and broken lives. Behind every luxury mansion, every private flight, and every offshore wire transfer lay a calculated system designed to shield power and inflict pain. As we break down the financial engine of his rise, never forget, this is not a story of success. This is an anatomy of a fortune built on blood. It is one of the most closely guarded anomalies in modern financial history. An outsider with no family inheritance, no public corporate track record, and no certified license as a wealth manager managed to amass a fortune of nearly $600 million. Most people look at this private island and see a crime scene. But today, we are looking at it as an economic puzzle. Where did the money actually come from? Who built the pipeline that funded this empire? This is the unsealed financial blueprint of Jeffrey Epstein. To understand the money, we have to go back to the beginning. Jeffrey Edward Epstein was born in 1953 in Brooklyn, New York. He didn't grow up around wealth. His father, Seymour, worked a modest job for the New York City Parks Department, and his mother was a school aide. There were no elite connections here, no inheritances, and no trust funds. But Jeffrey possessed two tools that would define his future: an exceptional talent for classical piano and a sharp, calculating mind for mathematics. By 1974, despite dropping out of New York University without earning a single degree, a 21-year-old Jeffrey managed to charm his way into the Dalton School, one of the most exclusive private academies on Manhattan's Upper East Side. He was hired to teach physics and mathematics to the children of New York's political and financial elite. Jeffrey carried himself with an unearned confidence, wearing expensive fur coats and mingling with wealthy parents. He didn't care about teaching. He cared about the network. While at Dalton, Jeffrey tutored the son of Alan Ace Greenberg, the ruthless CEO of the powerhouse investment bank Bear Stearns. Greenberg saw raw, hungry ambition in the young man. In 1976, after Dalton dismissed Jeffrey for poor professional conduct, Greenberg threw him a lifeline, bringing him onto the trading floor of Bear Stearns as a junior assistant. This was Jeffrey's entry into the heart of Wall Street, where his real education began. Within months of arriving at Bear Stearns, the Human Resources Department discovered a massive red flag. Jeffrey had completely fabricated his academic credentials on his resume. In any normal corporate environment, this meant instant termination and blacklisting. But on Wall Street in the late 1970s, the rules were different. Senior management was so thoroughly impressed by Jeffrey's ability to pitch complex tax shelter strategies to ultra-wealthy clients that the fraud was quietly buried. By 1980, at the age of just 27, Jeffrey Epstein became a limited partner at Bear Stearns. He had mastered the art of the options market and complex financial derivatives. He wasn't just trading, he was learning how the ultra-rich hid their money from the government. He became indispensable to high-net-worth individuals who wanted to disappear into the gray areas of financial law. Within months of arriving at Bear Stearns, the Human Resources Department discovered a massive red flag. Jeffrey had completely fabricated his academic credentials on his resume. In any normal corporate environment, this meant instant termination and blacklisting. But on Wall Street in the late 1970s, the rules were different. Senior management was so thoroughly impressed by Jeffrey's ability to pitch complex tax shelter strategies to ultra-wealthy clients that the fraud was quietly buried. In 1981, Jeffrey abruptly left Bear Stearns. While the public story was that he left to start his own firm, internal compliance rumors suggested he was forced out due to an unauthorized financial transaction. Now on his own, he founded Intercontinental Assets Group. He rebranded himself as a financial troubleshooter, a high-stakes bounty hunter hired by billionaires to recover stolen assets through aggressive shadow banking channels. By 1984, he was a millionaire, but he was hunting for a whale. In 1986, Jeffrey found his whale. His name was Leslie Wexner, the billionaire founder of the retail empire behind Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie & Fitch, and Express. Wexner was one of the wealthiest men in America, but he was a social outsider based in Ohio, desperate for validation and absolute financial privacy. When he met Jeffrey in Palm Beach, Wexner was completely mesmerized by his mathematical charm and promises of ultimate discretion. In 1991, Les Wexner did something unprecedented in modern business history. He signed a sweeping general power of attorney, handing Jeffrey Epstein absolute control over his multi-billion-dollar empire, his personal finances, his private trusts, and his foundations. Legally, Jeffrey could sign checks, buy and sell properties, and move billions of dollars under Wexner's name with zero oversight. The boy from Brooklyn had just been handed the keys to a kingdom. The wealth of Les Wexner quickly began bleeding into Jeffrey's personal possession. Look at the Herbert N. Strauss house, a 21,000 square foot mega mansion in Manhattan. Wexner bought it, but by the mid-90s, Jeffrey moved in. In 2011, the deed to this multi-million-dollar property was officially transferred to an entity controlled by Jeffrey for $0. The same happened with Wexner's commercial-sized Gulfstream jet. Jeffrey was absorbing a billionaire's assets. While enjoying the status of Wexner's primary advisor, Jeffrey was simultaneously operating in the dark. In the late 80s, he partnered with Stephen Hoffenberg at Towers Financial Corporation. Together, they orchestrated a massive Ponzi scheme, selling $450 million worth of fraudulent bonds to innocent investors. When the House of Cards collapsed in 1993, Hoffenberg went to prison for 20 years. Jeffrey, however, walked away completely untouched. His protection was already in place. With his Wexner era reaching its peak, Jeffrey needed a new institutional engine to move his money. In 1998, he entered the private banking world of JPMorgan Chase. For the next 15 years, Jeffrey wasn't just a client. He became an unofficial power broker for the bank's elite wealth division, shielded by top banking executives who ignored endless red flags to keep his business. Jeffrey acted as a high-level client finder for JPMorgan. He used his charm and his properties to lure in tech billionaires, venture capitalists, and foreign dignitaries, bringing their massive fortunes directly to the bank. When Jeffrey brought in a client like Google co-founder Sergey Brin, the bank rewarded him with millions in unrecorded finder's fees and transaction commissions. Then came Leon Black, the multi-billionaire co-founder of private equity giant Apollo Global Management. A Senate investigation later exposed that between 2012 and 2017, long after Jeffrey had become a registered felony offender, Leon Black transferred a staggering $158 million directly to Jeffrey. Wall Street was still feeding the machine. Why would a titan like Leon Black pay $158 million to a single man? The answer lay in Jeffrey's mastery of tax avoidance. He specialized in structuring grantor retained annuity trusts, or GRATs. These highly complex legal structures allowed billionaires to move billions of dollars to their heirs while completely bypassing federal estate taxes. Jeffrey was the gatekeeper to the ultimate fiscal secrets of the 1%. To protect his own massive income from these deals, Jeffrey established his operational headquarters in the U.S. Virgin Islands. He founded the Financial Trust Company. It wasn't a bank that served the public. It was a shell entity designed to exploit a local economic stimulus loophole. Jeffrey negotiated an incredible 90% reduction on his personal income taxes and a total corporate tax exemption. This offshore tax haven structure saved Jeffrey an estimated $300 million over 2 decades. This was his secret fountain. The Financial Trust Company produced no products and managed no public assets. It existed purely as a vacuum to suck in multi-million-dollar fees from Wall Street billionaires and wash them clean of federal taxes. With hundreds of millions flowing tax-free through his offshore accounts, Jeffrey bought his sovereign kingdom, the island of Little St. James, for nearly $8 million, followed later by Great St. James for over $20 million. He transformed these islands into a high-security compound, complete with helipads, a massive main estate, and the infamous striped temple on the cliffside. The island wasn't a vacation spot. It was an isolated base of absolute control. From his island and his Manhattan mansion, Jeffrey operated like a dark intelligence director. He was an obsessive communicator, typing thousands of encrypted emails late into the night on his BlackBerries. He kept detailed digital records, flight logs, and calendars of every single interaction, tracking the schedules of the global elite like an investment portfolio. Jeffrey understood that financial wealth was nothing without geopolitical protection. He used his private jet and his luxury properties to systematically infiltrate the highest levels of political power. Presidents and world leaders flew on his aircraft, attended dinners at his mansion, and consulted him on global affairs. Jeffrey was buying influence, ensuring that his financial operations were shielded by the ultimate levels of state immunity. The web expanded into European royalty, international prime ministers, and global celebrities. By funding prestigious scientific research, hosting elite charity galas, and offering his private jet for international travel, Jeffrey made himself a fixture in the lives of the world's most famous people. His network was so vast that he became a gatekeeper of high society. But this global network wasn't built on friendship. It was built on leverage. Multiple investigations and legal filings have suggested that Jeffrey's properties were heavily wired with hidden surveillance equipment and cameras. Every email sent, every flight taken, and every meeting hosted in his mansions was potentially recorded. The ultimate engine of his power was information. He knew the secrets of the people who ran the world. When Jeffrey Epstein's world finally collapsed in 2019, it triggered a financial earthquake. The legal battles that followed exposed the deep rot within the global financial system. Wall Street giants like JPMorgan Chase and Deutsche Bank were forced to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in historic settlements for knowingly facilitating his shadow banking network. The billionaires who funded his lifestyle saw their reputations permanently destroyed. Jeffrey Epstein was never a financial genius. He was a master parasite who exploited the dark legal gray areas of the global financial system and the deepest desires of the elite. He built an empire out of tax havens, shell companies, and high-level leverage. The islands have been sold, the bank accounts frozen, but the blueprint of how he weaponized wealth to control the powerful remains, a chilling reminder of how the world truly works. As this investigation comes to a close, the team here at the Wealth Crime Lab wants to step away from the numbers, the assets, and the elite networks. Our deepest thoughts, respect, and solidarity go out to all the victims, survivors, and their families who have endured unimaginable pain. True justice is not just found in unsealing financial ledgers or freezing bank accounts. It is found in honoring the truth, supporting those who suffered, and ensuring that accountability is never bypassed. Thank you for your time, and thank you for seeking the truth with us.